Hi, let's introduce you to the newest member of the family. This is Muji. He's the cutest, most adorable little addition, and he's my little baby. He'll just be off to the side over here playing and looking out the window as I talk to you about where I've been. I always have made these videos for fun, and I forget just maybe there's someone looking and being like, where has Anjali gone? Where is her YouTube upload schedule? Yeah, non-existent really. I went to France, came back. It's been an additional 4 months since that. I do have videos. I vlogged the entire time, but I cannot seem to find any love for editing. Not my forte. I don't think I'm ever going to learn to love it. Unfortunate, really. That's where I've been, to give you the honest truth. But to get to what this video is about, because I've been thinking about it since my lovely significant other said, why don't you talk about this in a video? I feel like people want to hear this stuff. And I thought, do people truly want my take on the things I consume instead of doom scrolling? Well, that is something I can get behind because I can ramble for a long time. I'm sorry to those who find my voice repulsive. I am going to talk a lot in this video. So I do want to just give a little disclaimer. A lot of these shows are thrillers. Some are gory. The horror movie I watched yesterday was a little bit gory. And I would say some of the shows are R-rated. So just a little disclaimer, dark topics ahead. So really what jump-started my intellectual thought in what was being produced and what I was consuming was the show Baby Reindeer, which I did not at all expect it to do. Something I've been doing more often than not is going in with literally no knowledge of the show at all. Not reading the synopsis on Netflix. If the poster's good, maybe I'll watch it. If I've heard good things, if I've heard someone on TikTok mention, oh, Baby Reindeer, maybe something you'd like, I put it on the list. Because I've been so rigid in the past with what I want to consume that sometimes I write off things that I really shouldn't. And that is a flaw that I'm really trying to work on as I start becoming more of a person that wants to consume specific type of media. What I really liked about Baby Reindeer was the way the plot progressed. I did not expect it to dive into trauma the way it did, especially sexual trauma, in a way that I never would have perceived it. And I think of myself as a bit of an empath. And I really do feel that with my life experiences, I can find a way to put myself in the other person's shoes and see it from their way. And I think I've always been really good at that. But that show was just a completely different perspective on what sexuality means and how you can get roped into things that you never really thought yourself doing. But in the pursuit of trying to accomplish your dreams, you kind of forget your identity because that's the person you want to be. And I feel like that is a really nuanced take because there's so many perspectives on how to move on from trauma after that. And the way the main character goes about it is something that I would find myself doing, diving more into comedic relief and finding someone who is hurtful to say, but worse off than you to really understand, oh, I should be pitying this person. I have it so good. Other people's problems are so big. And that is definitely, I feel, a coping mechanism for him. He consistently believes and has this debilitating lack of self-esteem that he just feels so lost after what happened. And it was something I was just really intrigued to watch. After that, I watched Fleabag. Fleabag was definitely a funny show. It was more raunchy than I wanted. I wanted more. I wish they focused more on her trauma and what it led to. She talks about having a feeling like she has a sex addiction and she just wants to fuck everyone. And I feel like if we dived deeper into that, it would have been more what I wanted from the show because I watched it right after Baby Reindeer and I was really in that intellectual, psychologically analyzing everything mood. So I was hoping it was like that, but it did touch on very deep topics and how to deal with grief and losing someone. But I don't think it's my top tier show. After that, I watched a little bit of Severance. I started rewatching Severance, but then I stopped after the third episode of season 1 because I realized that season 3 is coming out in 2027 and I really want to remember everything when the next season comes out. So watching it now doesn't really make a lot of sense. So I'm going to postpone that till probably early 2027. And then I just watched Three Body Problem, which also I went into absolutely blind, and which I think is an accomplishment in itself because that show has been raved upon. I really like listening to those lists on TikTok and on Instagram. Like, oh, you would enjoy this, but I really just want the names. I don't want no synopsis. I want to be completely enveloped with the storyline and unbeknownst knowing to what is going to happen next. But when I was younger, I used to love spoilers. I don't know why. I used to always say, it's about the journey, not the destination. I need to know, what do you mean they just killed Dean? I need to know how that happens. So I used to never mind it. And I still don't. I'll still watch it, but I feel like it will create a bias in my perception of it. Sorry, that was a tangent. But Three Body Problem really kickstarted my love for sci-fi again. I watched it in one day. To be fair, it's not really a long show, but it is something that just got me into different realities of everything and the multiverse. And that's something that the way I wish I could explain it. When I was younger, that was my bread and butter. I loved learning about the different physics theories that support multiverses or realities or parallel universes and everything to do with the solar system. So when they introduced the three body problem and the two suns and how it creates a stable era and a catastrophic era, I was like, oh my God, what? My knowledge is finally useful. And it was just like, I don't know, it's a good change of pace because I've been watching a ton of thrillers. I haven't mentioned stuff that I watched before, but I was really on a grind of watching miniseries because I hadn't watched any. So when I started, I blew past them. So Behind Her Eyes, now everything is going to escape me, of course. I also watched a different show that I cannot remember the name, but it is on Netflix. And if I find it, I'll probably put it somewhere. But it basically is a priest who's trying to help this kid, and his mom is really strict. And sorry, I'm gonna spoil this whole show because sorry, this was a complete. I wish there was a trigger warning in this show because I didn't expect to see what I saw, or the plot line that developed. So this kid hands this priest a USB drive. He's like, "Oh, my mom's gonna search it. Can you just keep it? Please don't look at it." He goes to his house. He has a tutor come in for his son. He needs to download something for the tutor. This USB just happens to be there. She plugs it in. What does she discover? Child pornography. Now the tutor thinks it's the priest's son that is doing this, but the priest is like, no, it's not. It's a kid from my church that I was trying to help. I didn't know what was on it, but obviously she doesn't believe him. Now, this story, oh my God. I had so many thoughts when I finished it, and they all vanished within one night, really. But all I can say is, I think that's a really good depiction of how catastrophizing works. Because everything that could have gone wrong for that man went wrong. Literally everything. So, if I find the name and you want to watch it, please let me know why.
This is Editing Anjali. I wanted to say I did find the name of the show, and I just want to tell you all that I don't actually recommend watching the show. Just saying. But yeah, I hope you like the video so far. I am almost done. Maybe not. I do ramble on for a little bit, but I hope that editing is to your liking because I'm trying really hard right now. Yeah, that's all. Peace out.
Did I finish it? Yes. I got really I needed to know what was the ending then. So I did not watch all the episodes. I am also a chronic skipper of episodes, and if it's not important, I'm not gonna watch it. If I'm not interested, I'm not gonna watch it. I think my time is very valuable. So if you're boring, next. I also watch in 1.5 speed, everything now. I've always felt that I talk pretty fast and I need other people to talk pretty fast because I think 1,000 thoughts in a millisecond. So it's really nice when it's just go, go, go. I also nitpicked and watched certain Black Mirror episodes, which were so good. Oh my God, Playtest, I think is my favorite episode. Or Riviera. Love those 2 episodes, and I just watched Hotel Riviera. If there's any like, I watched most of the seasons at this point, I just don't like the first episode of season 1, like, I wanted to watch it in order, but that first episode just didn't register for me, yeah. I feel like I've talked a lot. I feel like this video is getting pretty long and my throat is getting parched. So I'm just gonna open a Coke Zero and now gonna give you some updates about my life as well. So coming back from France, getting my cat and everything was a lot at once, especially because I was starting my new semester and I needed to be on top of my game. So media for me, even though the title of this video is media I consumed, not doom scrolling. I think I don't find it to be so productive to watch a TV show. Like, though I am consuming media and is an art form on its own. It is a way of escapism, and appreciating it is very valuable, especially because people pour their hearts and souls into the media they create. But I've never intrinsically thought it was productive use of my time. So when I started off the semester, I was not watching anything. I was really trying to just get back into the flow of things because things picked up pretty fast, I would say. Last semester overall went mediocre. Like, I had to explain it in one word, mediocre. I went to school, I went to university twice a week, and it was like worst times to go. Like, it would always be rush hour when I was coming back. Um, broke my tail light when I was trying to park in the parking lot. Little things, just, But as I got to the end of the semester, I realized that I have grown a lot as a person in the past just year. I look back at videos of me 2 years ago and I'm like, oh, I really do feel I have developed and I've become more stable and grounded in who I am and being okay with having fun and relaxing and not always being on the grind. Like, culture has always been a really big part in my upbringing. And not to say it's not good, it's amazing. It's really good to grind and be at your game at all times. But to do that, you need to relax and you need to learn how relaxing is best for you. For me, it is consuming media of concepts that I find interesting. So, all the psychological things that happen with cookies and imprinting consciousness and coding consciousness in Black Mirror is so riveting. It's just fascinating. I just want to learn more about it. And then, it makes you want to know more, and then you search up some articles and you learn something new, and that's the whole point. And that's the way I've started to frame it so that I don't feel like I'm just wasting my time. No, this is a good use of my time. I'm intellectually thinking about what these concepts mean. And I encourage you all to do the same. That was a long ramble that was just trying to tell you, watch that makes you happy. Um, and don't always want to watch something that makes you happy. Sometimes you want to watch something that makes you challenge your own perspective. I watched this show Devil in Ohio, I think, and it was about a girl and she was like a cult and she never like lets go of it even though she escapes. And I don't know, that was a really big challenge for me because I was like, I don't know if I would be able to take that girl in and treat her as my own, which was like a big topic in the show. So, yeah, like things, find new perspectives and just think. I feel like we're losing the power of thinking. Yeah, that's it. I know a sit down video is not really that creative or fun, but as I said, I don't really like editing. And I really just like yapping. So I hope that's okay. But yeah, that's all. Love you.